Good morning, students. Today we will discuss lesson 2, microorganisms. Numerous tiny organisms are present in the soil, water and air. They are so small that we cannot see them with unaided eye. We can see them only with the help of a microscope. So the organisms which can be seen only or visible only under the microscope are called microorganisms. Study of microorganisms is called microbiology, and the scientists who study the microorganisms are called microbiologists. General characteristics of microorganisms. They are visible only with the help of a microscope. They are either one-celled organisms or a collection of undifferentiated cells. During unfavorable conditions, the microorganisms enclose themselves in hard resistant covering called the cyst. And when the conditions become favorable, the cyst ruptures and the microorganisms come out and multiply. Microorganisms may be autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprophytic or parasitic. Development of electron microscope has helped in the detailed study of microorganisms and their relation with the human beings. Habitat of microorganisms. Habitat means रहने की जगह. Microorganisms are found practically everywhere and in all types of environment. Major groups of microorganisms. There are 5 major groups of microorganisms. These are bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. Bacteria. Of all the microorganisms, bacteria are the most abundant. Abundant means सबसे ज़्यादा amount में ये पाया जाता है. They are the simplest of all living organisms. Bacteria occur almost everywhere on the earth, in the air, in water, in soil, in food products, and also in the bodies of other organisms. On the basis of shape, bacteria are classified into following types: Cocci, Bacilli, Spirilla, Vibrio, etc. And some are aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. The bacteria which require oxygen for their growth are called aerobic bacteria, and the bacteria which do not require oxygen for their growth, they are called anaerobic bacteria. Regarding nutrition, bacteria may be autotrophic, saprotrophic or parasitic bacteria. Reproduction. Bacteria reproduce by binary fission. Bacterial cells grow in size. Its nuclear material and cytoplasm divide to form two new daughter cells. The daughter cells grow in size and divide again. Most bacteria divide very fast. Fungi. Fungi are plant-like non-green multicellular organisms. Some of them look like plants but do not have roots, leaves or flowers. Some fungi like yeast are unicellular, but other like mushrooms, toadstools, etc. are multicellular. Regarding nutrition, as they are non-green plants and hence cannot make their food, they are either saprotrophic or parasitic. Reproduction. Fungi reproduce asexually and sexually by both process. Algae. They are simple unicellular or multicellular green plants. They may be filamentous or branch, but they do not have roots, stem and leaves. Therefore, algae are described to have thallus-like structure. You have seen algae as a green sheet like slippery mass floating on the surface of stagnant water. आपने देखा होगा कई बार जहाँ पानी खड़ा रहता है वहाँ पर ग्रीन से कलर की कई सारे तालाब के ऊपर या पानी के ऊपर सारे वाटर एरिया को कवर कर लेती है. दैट इज़ अ टाइप ऑफ एल्गे. Algae are mostly aquatic, both freshwater and marine. Therefore, they are called grass of water. On the land, they are found in damp places, forming a slippery green layer on moist soil or moist rock surface. In addition to green chlorophyll, some algae possess blue, red or brown pigments. Based on the pigment, they are called green algae, red algae and brown algae. Algae are autotrophs as they contain chlorophyll and they can manufacture their food by the process of photosynthesis. Algae reproduce asexually and sexually by both process. Next is protozoa. Protozoa are the most primitive single-celled microscopic animals like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, etc. Most protozoa occur single but some are colonial also. They do not possess cell wall. They can swim either using cilia or can move with the help of pseudopodia. Nutrition. Protozoa have animal-like nutrition which is called holozoic nutrition. But some are parasites. They feed on animal cells and cause diseases in men and domestic animals. Protozoa multiply by binary fission, multiple fission, and spore formation. Some protozoa reproduce sexually also. Viruses are smallest and the most primitive acellular microorganisms. They are obligate parasites. Obligate means they derive food from living organisms only. They can multiply only inside cells of the host organism, which can be bacteria, plant, or animal cells. Viruses are so small that they are seen only by using an electron microscope. The viruses can be isolated, crystallized, and stored in the form of crystals. Viruses are regarded as a connecting link between non-living and living things. Diseases caused by viruses. All viruses are pathogenic. Pathogenic means they always cause diseases. They are responsible for several diseases like common cold, cough, influenza, smallpox, etc. Foot and mouth disease in cattle is also caused by virus. The common viral diseases in plants include tobacco mosaic disease of cabbage, cauliflower, mustard, etc. Now we will study economic importance of microorganisms. Microorganisms are beneficial to us in number of ways. First, in food industry. In preparation of curd, in making cheese, making wine, beer, vinegar, making pickles, improving flavor of butter, making beverages like tea and coffee to give them aroma and flavor, tenderization of meat, etc. Some bacteria are used to do all these processes. Algae as a source of food. Algae are a potential source of food for all human beings. In China and Japan, many seaweeds are used as food. Algae are main source of food for fishes and many other aquatic animals. Some algae are used as cattle feed. Agar-agar obtained from red algae is used in the preparation of gelatin and in making of ice creams, jellies, puddings, etc. Fungi as a food. Some fungi like mushrooms are edible and are rich source of protein. Next is medicinal use of microorganisms. Preparation of antibiotics. Antibiotics are used to treat bacterial infection. Antibiotics like streptomycin, erythromycin, chloromycetin, oromycin, etc. are obtained from fungi and bacteria. Preparation of vaccines. Vaccines are antigens prepared from pathogenic bacteria to promote active immunity without causing disease. These have dead or weakened microorganisms. Vaccines are introduced in a healthy person to induce formation of antibodies in his body for fighting against bacterial infection. Synthesis of vitamin B. Bacterium Escherichia coli that lives in the intestine of man and other vertebrates synthesizes vitamin B complex in the body. Next is industrial use of microorganisms. In tanning of leather, retting of fibers, etc., some bacteria are used to do all this process. Microorganisms in sewage disposal. Some bacteria decompose municipal sewage into useful substances. They can be used as landfills or as manure to increase soil fertility. Similarly, microorganisms also help in cleaning of environment. Recycling of matter by microorganisms. Bacteria and fungi decompose complex organic compounds into inorganic substances like nitrogen and carbon compounds and return them back to the soil. These are used by plants to synthesize organic compounds. This is called recycling of matter. Some microorganisms like nitrogen fixing soil bacteria and cyanobacteria, they help in nitrogen fixation. The process of nitrogen fixation enriches the soil with nitrates which are used by plant cells in the preparation of proteins. Now there are also harmful microorganisms. A variety of microorganisms harms us by causing diseases, spoiling our food and damaging food crops, our clothes, papers and leather goods. Disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens or germs. They cause a large number of diseases in man, domesticated animals and plants. Some of the human diseases caused by bacteria, viruses, fungi and protozoa are listed in the table. As you see in the table, pneumonia, tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid, these are some bacterial diseases. In viral diseases, common cold, influenza, measles, etc. And some fungal diseases like food poisoning, ringworm, athlete's foot. And from protozoa, malaria, amoebic dysentery, etc. In this table, modes of transmission मीन्स ये कैसे फैलती हैं बीमारियां. सिम्टम्स, अगर हमें इनमें से कोई बीमारी हो जाती है, डिजीज़ हो जाती है, तो उनके क्या क्या सिम्टम्स हैं, क्या क्या निशानियां हो जाती हैं. एंड प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स, इट मीन्स हम इनसे कैसे बच सकते हैं. सो वी शुड फॉलो प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स टू कीप आवर सेल्फ हेल्दी. Students, that's all in this first video. We will cover next part of the lesson in our second video. Thank you.